Welcome to Corvette Mafia News Blog's Vette Chat. I'm your host, Ashur Conrad. Today's episode of Vette Chat is sponsored by VMAX Motorsports. Get your custom camshafts, ported cylinder heads, intake manifolds, throttle bodies, and more at VMAX Motorsports. Visit them on the web at vmaxmotorsports.com. Our guest today on Vette Chat is Leighton Reese, owner of Leighton Reese Performance Group and Grand-Am.racing. Grand-Am.racing runs in the Grand-Am Racing Series with the number 7 Corvette, driven by Scott Russell and Paul Edwards. Leighton, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks a lot for having me.
Well, we're glad to have you, and let's just jump right into the fire, if you will. Adam Christodoulou, 3 times your team has tangled with him in the SpeedSource Mazda, and all 3 times your guys have come up on the short end of the stick, so to speak. What's going on?
Well, we'd like to know what's going on. I mean, we're throwing up a really serious effort. We've had the pole 2 of the 3 times that Christodoulou has hit us, and I mean, it really comes down to, I mean, it's beyond frustrating. He's either got team orders or he's a dumbass. I hate to mince words, but it's just uncanny how often this happens. So it's got to stop, but it's getting ugly now. So I can elaborate on a few instances, but for one thing, we had the pole at Daytona, and as soon as Scott Russell, the famous motorcycle champion, got in the car, he got T-boned by Christodoulou, slid into him with his wheels locked as he was turning into turn 1 at Daytona. At Barber, he got into us on the first lap at the start of the race and spun us around. And then just this last week, we were leading, and same deal. He slid into us. We're partway through the corner, and he comes in, dive bombs, can't complete the turn, and it just hits us. So it's just uncanny that it's been the same guy. Not to mention, just by chance, Scott's been driving the car every time, and it's very, very frustrating.
Yeah, how's Scott dealing with this?
Well, I mean, we don't know if it's team orders or personal vendetta or what, and I mean, we want to go down and do something controversial, but we don't want to go to jail either. So, one of the weird things is the guy has never come over and apologized. I mean, race cars, they get into each other, and everybody's got the same goal in mind, and but the sad thing about it is we had a car, we were leading the race, and we had a car that could win, and the alignment gets all messed up, and anybody knows, especially a Corvette person, if the wheels aren't all pointing in the correct direction, the car's impossible to drive. And anyway, so we had a massive tow-in situation, and the car would go around right turns okay, but a left turn, it just felt like it wanted to spin all the time, which takes all the driver's confidence out of the car. Plus, we were getting bad tire wear at that point, and that sort of thing. So I don't know if this deal is completely done yet. I mean, I hope it is, but we haven't got any closure on it. So we're going to go in on the offensive.
I see. Now, if you think it's team orders, why would they be so overly concerned with you guys?
Well, their team has a nice lead in the championship. So, I mean, what we're just trying to explain, or just trying to understand how the same guy has hit the red 07 Corvette, 3 times. Nobody else, just us. And, these races, I mean, they cost a lot of money to do. And, you're buying 3-4 sets of tires a weekend, your motors and all that stuff. To put 8 or 10 guys on the road is a multi-$1,000 deal. And, it just takes away from any achievement we can accomplish. I mean, they're doing a good job. Team Mazda is. They've got all their ducks in a row this year, and I'll throw out some conspiracy theory. I mean, as long as the guy's not apologizing to us or anything like that, I mean, that's ridiculous.
Right. Now, it's just interesting that, Stevenson Motorsports, Turner Motorsports, and Dempsey Racing are the closest ones to them. Wouldn't you think they'd be more concerned about those groups, instead of you guys right this moment?
Yeah. Well, like I said, it's either one or 2 things. He's either not real bright, or he's got team orders. No, I don't. And I don't really believe the team order thing. And there might be some coincidence to it, but I mean, it's got to stop. And I don't know if Grand-Am's letting it go just so they can get some controversy going and that sort of thing. And but I don't know. It's just a strange situation.
Well, it certainly could be with
the uncanny.
Yeah, with the past controversy happening over at NASCAR. You know, maybe Grand-Am's afraid they're getting overshadowed a little bit.
Well, you know, you're racing in the national spotlight, and I mean, you know, we haven't won yet this year, so everybody on our team's a little bit frustrated, and we've been responsible for our own demise a couple of times. You know, bad strategy. You know, we ran out of fuel with like 8 laps to go at Mid-Ohio a couple of weeks ago, and while we were in the lead, so we had to do a green flag stop, and that killed that weekend off. But you know, that's our own fault, and we'll accept it and take responsibility for it. But for this to happen, I mean, this isn't just a rub; these are just actual T-bones where you know, we go spinning off the track, and then we've got bent suspension, so the event's basically over for us.
Right.
So
take us through the incident this past weekend, and why you feel your driver Scott Russell was in the right and not Christodoulou.
Well, you know, if you guys saw it on Speed Channel, and they replayed it a number of times, and even Dorsey commented and disputed even what Christodoulou said. Scott was coming down into turn 1, which is following the start-finish, the long straightaway, and he turned into turn 1, and obviously, you know, when you're going 100, you know, 40, 50 miles an hour and hard on the brakes and coming down through the gears, you know, you turn into the corner a little wide. Well, anybody could stick their nose in at that point, but you don't commit to passing the car on the inside until your front wheels are basically even, wheel to wheel. Well, his front wheels didn't even get to our rear wheels, and as Scott turned in, Christodoulou was already committed to being there. And so, in other words, we got hit from behind on the inside. It's not at all what's considered a clean pass, and of course, he spun us out, and he got a drive-through penalty where he has to come in the pits, drive through the pits at 45 miles an hour, and go back out. But ironically, he came out right behind us again,
yeah.
And you know, because we had to restart the engine and get going. But you know, it's just a rookie mistake, and I mean, you see it all the time in Formula One or this or that too, you know, and he just wasn't in a position to make a pass, and he claimed on the TV that the front wheels were even and this and that, but if you watch the replay, it wasn't even close.
Right.
And even